What is up, my crime crazy people? Welcome to Veil of Humanity. We are your hosts, Melanie Elvington
and Kimberly Taylor.
Today we're going to bring you the case of Mark Castellano, who killed his girlfriend back in 2012.
So grab your favorite beverage and a pillow to scream into as we dive into this sad case. Trigger warnings, y'all. We're going to be discussing murder and some drug use.
Oh. Okay.
Also, we are fans of the cursey words.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
All right. Here we go, Bess.
What you got?
Dust rises under the footprint of detectives as they scour an oil field searching for a shallow grave which could hold the body of mother Michelle Warner. Warner had been missing since September 22nd, 2012. I'm sorry. I ate, and when I eat, I just kind of get fumbled in the brain. When she supposedly walked out of her apartment, which she shared with her boyfriend and father of her child. So we're going to go back. We're going to go back to September 28th, 2012. A man sitting across from the famous Dr. Phil, lights shining down. You've heard of him, right?
He went on Dr. Phil?
He went on Dr. Phil.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to see this.
So he's sitting there, and this man is denying any involvement in the murder of his girlfriend. Some in the crowd are wondering if he thought he was smart or just ignorant to claim such things with such gusto, only to turn around and confess to one of the show's producers, and then later to the police.
I'm sorry, but you have to have some kind of cojones to go in front of Dr. Phil.
You do.
And try to feed him some stuff. And he's going to be like, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's going to flat out point out, no.
That would be scary to me. I would not be the one lying up there. You know what I mean?
Especially me.
I'd be the one singing like a bird.
But you want to know what I did on July 4th on 1989? I will tell you.
Well, we'll figure it out.
I don't know what, but I did something. So that man is Mark Castellano, a 39-year-old Houston man, and he's claiming he didn't kill his girlfriend. But we need to step back from all the fanfare and lies and keep the perspective on everything. We need to take a look at everything.
Okay.
So, the date is the 24th of September, 2012. It's a Monday. It's a new day, a new week. And 31-year-old Michelle Warner was scheduled to work that day at a job she had just recently started. She was a paralegal at a law firm.
Oh, very cool.
Very nice job.
Very, very cool job to have.
She had 2 children, a 3-year-old son named Caden and an 11-year-old daughter named Haley. Haley lived with her father. Michelle and Caden lived with Caden's father, Mark Castellano, in an apartment in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Michelle and Caden moved in just 3 months prior. You know, things were finally on track for Michelle at this point in her life. She's got a good man, she's got a good job, her and her son, with his father, it's just, life is good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep at it. She was troubled when she was younger and had a previous arrest for possession of cocaine, and it took her a while to rebuild her life. Michelle had married young and had Haley right after high school, but the marriage soon ended and Haley stayed with her father. She did keep in close contact with Haley's father and saw Haley often.
Good.
So she loved being a mother to both her children.
Good.
That's
nice to hear for a change.
It really is, honestly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
All these women out there killing their children, their babies.
Yeah.
For what?
For stupid reasons.
Craziness, money.
Yeah.
What?
Mental health issues. Some that aren't even there.
Yeah.
Michelle met Mark when they both worked for the same medical firm in 2008. Michelle worked there as a secretary and Mark was in IT. They had Caden a year later. Just a few months after he was born, Mark ended the relationship. So she found it difficult to be a single mother because she had to raise Caden and work. So in 2012, when she found permanent employment at a law firm, she asked Mark if he would allow his son and Michelle to move in with him. Yeah.
And of course, I'm sure he agreed, right?
He did, because she wanted
Mark a
to
family,
help,
right?
Yeah, and wanted him to help raise his son.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't want to do it alone, obviously. No one wants to do that alone.
She said, we could just live together, but not as a couple, just as his parents. We'll just be mom and dad, that's it.
Okay.
So, and he said, yeah, of course, let's do it. So, and that's great. It's great to see that two people can co-parent like that.
Yeah. She didn't have no ulterior motive.
No.
Just really, truly wanted to try to get along with him and
raise
their kid together.
Yeah. Get help with raising her son, and so that he could have his father. And so that's great to see. It's really great to see. Unfortunately, we're talking about a true crime case, so we know this won't end well. They lived in what seemed like harmony until the 24th of September, when Michelle failed to come in at her new job. Her employer called her several times, but she never answered. That same day, Michelle's ex-husband contacted her brother, David Chiffon. Chiffon? Sorry if I messed that up. I'm horrible at names, y'all.
Seems like chiffon.
To let him know that Michelle did not collect Haley, which was highly unusual. If it's her turn to have her daughter. Yeah, she's going to go pick her daughter up. She's going to be there. So for her not to pick her up, something's weird.
Yeah.
So David called Michelle, and when he got no answer, he called Mark. So it was kind of a game of telephone. It was going back and forth,
right.
calling you, just, and no answers. Nobody's getting anywhere. So Mark told David that on Saturday night, the 22nd, he and Michelle had an argument. He claimed that she left. She didn't take her car, and she left Caden behind.
Oh, okay.
Again, another person doesn't take their car. What is wrong with people?
Because that's not true.
I know it's not true. I'm just saying the stories these people give out is, they didn't take their car. And, a mother, if they're going to get an argument, she's not going to leave her son behind. Right then is what my suspicions would be like, high alert right there.
Yeah.
So, Mark told David that he didn't know where Michelle was. No clue. She's up and left. I don't know where she is.
Okay.
You don't know? Okay.
As you know what they say, it's like usually the last person to see them alive is or last person to be seen with them or known to be with them.
Is usually the... There's a damn good reason for that, too. So Michelle was reported missing to the police on Tuesday, the 25th of September. The police they did a welfare check at the apartment. But of course, she wasn't there. However, they did notice a couple of unusual things, such as there were hard drives missing from the computers. But nothing indicated that she was in danger.
Don't you have to take a computer apart to get the hard drive? Like take at least the casing off of it?
Yeah, especially if it's an internal.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Wow.
I mean that's a little weird, right?
A little bit. Like, what are you looking for on there?
Yeah. So a couple days later, Officer Danny Doe with the missing persons unit of the Houston Police Department called Mark. Mark told him then about the argument. He said it happened as soon as he got home from work on Saturday. The argument involved a violent altercation.
Oh.
Yeah. He told the officer that she sucker punched him in the face and then went into her bedroom. So he's claiming that she just hauled off and hit him.
Hauled off and punched him.
Yeah.
Sucker punched him in the face.
And then went to her room. So Mark went into the bedroom later in the evening to confront her, but she wasn't there.
Okay, so she punches him in the face and she walks off to the bedroom. And then he's like, doo.
Yeah, hanging out in the apartment, just, chilling.
You're not doing anything.
Doesn't go after her.
About her.
Yeah.
Punching you.
And then when he goes in there later that evening, she's not there.
Oh.
She walk out a window, walk through the wall. What'd she do?
Here we go. The one time.
Excuse me, guys. We were eating sausage dip before, so just having some issues. My stomach wants to growl still.
And apparently so does mine.
This is part of life. Love us. So he claimed their relationship was violent, and she would often attack him.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's probably little, right? I would think her stature. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, I wouldn't think
I haven't seen her, but I saw him.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't think that she would have that type of personality.
Oh,
I feel like
I wouldn't imagine. If she was wanting to be with him and stuff like that, why would you act that way when you want to be with somebody? So which is it?
Yeah.
She wanted to be with you? Or she wanted to beat you?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I mean, even I'd be going, I don't know, bro.
Come on, man.
So he told the officer that when she was mad, she was violent, and that she had, and I quote, princess attitude.
What is the princess attitude?
Bougie, stuck up, bossy. Don't look at me like that. I ain't calling you. Just entitled. Very entitled.
Well, I don't know her, so that's his opinion of her, I guess.
That's his opinion, but... So Mark told the officer that he wasn't concerned about where Michelle was, as she was a drug user and had a history of leaving her children for several days at a time. Really?
Several days at a time.
Yeah.
We'll have a problem.
No good mother's gonna do that.
He is already trying to put the narrative out there and paint a picture of her.
He wants that spotlight off of him. He wants to look like the good person, the good daddy, you know. While she's the bad person. He wants to be the good person. It's like, me.
I.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So police discovered that a few weeks before Michelle disappeared, Mark handed in his resignation at work. Mel. He told his employer that he was moving to Odessa to live with his parents. He later told his employer that he changed his mind and did not want to leave, and instead asked if he could take a week off from Monday the 24th of September.
Oh.
Yeah. He then told his employer that he needed the time off to seek childcare for Caden.
Because she's gone.
Because she's gone.
She just disappeared.
Up and vanished through that wall, apparently.
All right.
On Saturday the 22nd of September, according to Mark, when Michelle left the apartment, Mark drove to Odessa with Caden using Michelle's car.
Odessa?
How'd she leave then? So, I don't know if you... Like, her purse and her keys, everything was missing. So, how did he take the car?
How did he take the car?
Yeah, because he's saying that he drove to Odessa with Caden using her car. But if her keys and everything's not there, did he have a spare?
Oh, I mean, usually there is a spare when you get a new car.
Could be.
I mean, not even new, but used as well.
But again,
still.
How did she get anywhere? Like, I'm confused.
She didn't get anywhere.
Well,
She was taken somewhere.
She was taken somewhere.
For sure.
So when he got there early the next morning, he told his parents about the argument and said that Michelle had left him. He told the officer that he drove back to Houston on that Sunday to collect the rest of his belongings. So at this point, he's moving back and forth from Houston to Odessa.
Yeah.
Which, that's a drive.
I was going to say, Houston to Odessa? Or west?
Mark, at this point, left a note for Michelle on the mirror in the bathroom of their apartment in Houston. I'm gonna read that to y'all. So it says, Caden and I are gone. You can have the apartment all to yourself. I am taking the car. Since you can't pay it, and now owe my dad $3,000 because of you, get it refinanced through your rich daddy and get my name off of it. You are welcome to see Caden, but since you are on a drug-filled weekend, I guess you won't call. Since Grandma called and said you turned your phone off, I will get you drug tested this time, bitch. Signed, the asshole.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, he's something else.
So he's flat out putting it out there that she's she's binging on drugs.
Which probably is not even true.
No, and that's why she left. And
But he's got to say something, right?
gotta get that mouth running. Gotta get those stories out there.
You're just probably not going to be able to keep them straight like nobody else can.
Exactly. There you go. My husband seems to be wanting to text me knowing that I'm recording a podcast. Love that man. So police at this time obtained surveillance footage from outside the apartment complex. They looked at the footage from the Saturday night that Michelle supposedly disappeared. You know, they saw Mark arriving at home about 6:57 p.m. He then left the apartment at 8:44 p.m. and walked to the parking lot. He got into her car, backed it up under the carport, and then he made several trips back and forth between the apartment and Michelle's car. Then he drove off in her car at about 9:30 that night. That's a little weird.
It's very weird.
Right?
What are we doing?
What's going on? What
What are we doing?
Yeah. What you making trips for? What you putting in there? What you got? My nosy butt wants to know what's in there.
Right.
So next we see Mark. The next time they see Mark was in the early hours of Monday morning, the 24th. You know, this is about 3:20 in the morning. Mark's dragging a large container to her car. Yeah. Now that don't look suspicious at all. So he made several trips back and forth again to the car at about 5:40 in the morning, and then left at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Alright. So police are searching the area around his parents' home at this point. You know, they find a number of items in a dumpster. They find Pampers box, his business cards, sunglasses, Michelle's credit cards.
Pampers box.
Yeah. Maybe they like to use wipes because they like to have a clean tushy.
I can relate.
Yeah. But her credit cards were found, and they'd been cut up. Yeah.
Well, that ain't something a woman would do.
Nope. There's also clothing and a wad of black tape.
Ooh, clothing.
I believe it was Michelle's.
Hers?
Yeah. So at this point, they asked him to come back to Houston to assist with the investigation. They wanted a non-custodial but recorded interview. He agreed. Before he returned, though, he was interviewed by the producers of the Dr. Phil show in relation to Michelle's disappearance.
Okay.
So this is when he goes on Dr. Phil. And I do have a clip I would like to play.
Let's talk about the night she disappeared.
Okay.
You had a fight.
Yes, sir.
Was this a physical fight or an argument or both?
Basically, I come home. She's in her room. The first thing she does is start yelling at me that Caden has made a big mess. He was running wild. About this point, I start arguing. You know, you've been asleep. You know, what do you want? You take enough Xanax so you can't hear him. You know, and we start fighting. Caden is at this point in his room, hiding. She walks up to me and she gives me this kind of sucker punch while I'm on the floor. I mean, she hits me all the time, and I don't retaliate. But she hit me and said, "And clean it up right, expletive, expletive, and she goes in and slams the door.
Where did she hit you?
She
Hit you in the face?
Yeah.
And you didn't retaliate?
No,
Caden is in his room hiding. Why is he hiding?
because of the screaming.
Does this happen a lot in front of him?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you say she goes in, slams the door, and you think she's just in there
Right.
on the bed or something. But you go back in to resume the argument,
Right.
frankly,
Yes.
and
She's gone.
she's gone.
Yes, sir.
That's last time you saw her was when she punched you in the face.
Yes, sir. I'm sitting there watching her walk away, slam that door, and that's the last time.
She has a car,
She
pretty.
didn't take the car.
so why didn't she take the car?
You know, I don't really know for certain. She's always carrying narcotics, and she's definitely afraid of being pulled over by the police.
Did she just walk away from the apartment, you think?
I'm sure someone picked her up. She doesn't walk anywhere.
Or you think she called somebody to come get her?
She had to.
Her cell phone has apparently not been on since she left. How would she communicate with people without her cell phone?
The only thing is she has a bag of cell phones, and that's what I told Houston police. She probably had at least 11 of them.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What?
Well, let's talk about
What?
some of the suspicious behavior
Yeah.
that you want to
What?
respond to. There were reports that when the police went into the apartment, areas had been cleaned up with bleach.
That was really blown out of proportion. There are two areas where I had been cleaning up before by the computer desk that we used that Walmart off-brand carpet cleaner, and it bleached the carpet, 2 stains. They had been there for months.
So you didn't clean up, because of course what people think,
Right.
if they're going to be suspicious, they, okay, fight ensued, blood is spilled,
Right,
bleach cleans that up,
Right.
bleach gets rid of DNA evidence.
right. And the first thing I did was tell Houston, PD, please go in there with a fine-tooth comb and look at the apartment, please.
Right, then, the night she disappears, you said you load your son, a 3-year-old, up in the car
Yes, sir.
and drive 8 hours to Odessa, where we sit right now.
Right now.
Why leave at 11 o'clock at night
It took me...
when she's gone? Weren't you concerned that she would come home and find Caden gone?
She
You
would.
freak
I knew
out?
she would come back to like 6 or 7 the next day. That was her MO.
That was her MO.
Mm-hmm. Not to come back until the next day. 11 cell phones.
Really?
That
That's so far out there.
That's what you come up with?
That is way out there, man.
Yeah. So he returned to Houston on the 30th of September and met with homicide detective Phil Waters. At first he told the detective that there was an argument. Michelle went into her bedroom, and then he later discovered she had left.
So he says he didn't even know that she left.
Yeah, that's what he was claiming.
Okay.
However, after further questioning, Mark eventually admitted that there was more to the story. The argument was more violent than he had initially implied, and it resulted in Michelle's death. So I'm gonna throw a trigger warning out, y'all. I'm gonna get a little bit graphic right now. So Mark said, I grabbed her by her neck and just threw her on the bed, and I heard it pop, and her tongue popped out, and that was it. I sat there and held it, and by the time I realized what I did, she was dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
I sit there and held what?
I'm assuming he means he's holding her down.
Her head?
Her throat. So Mark told police that when he got home from work, there was an argument. Michelle called him a sorry effing P. I'm not gonna say the word. She told him that she would control him for the rest of his life. According to Mark, Michelle was screaming in his face and tried to strike him. He showed the police what happened next. He demonstrated how Michelle tried to hit him, and he pushed her and grabbed her neck. He claimed he fell on top of her on the bed, and that crushed her windpipe.
Oh my God.
He said that he just locked up and remained on top of Michelle for at least a minute and a half or 2 minutes.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. That's when he heard the popping noise and heard tongue kind of popping out.
You ever heard of anything like that?
I know in strangulation that can happen, but I don't know. The way he's describing it's making it sound like a puppet. It's just not right.
Yeah.
I feel like he's exaggerating quite a bit. So when Michelle was dead at this point, he told police that Caden, who was in the next room the entire time, walked in and saw Michelle's feet hanging off the bed. Mark told him that Mommy's asleep.
Mm.
Ugh,
That's creepy.
that is.
Mommy's asleep for a long time.
Yeah. He then taped her feet together and put a plastic bag over her head. He put her body in the closet and then drove with Caden to Odessa.
This was, I'm sorry, what year? 12?
Yes.
Wow. So you know what that means? You remember when Gary and I moved to Midland, to Odessa area?
That's about the time you'll move there.
This is what was going on over there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow.
So after driving his son to his parents' house, he then drove back to Houston. That's when he put her body in that large crate and was seen, dragging that crate out.
Yeah.
He put the crate in her car. He then said that he told police that he drove to a remote field south of Midland
Okay.
and buried the body in a shallow grave. He drew the location where he buried her for the police. They were able to go there and find the body. The autopsy revealed that Michelle sustained 2 fractures to her airway, a fracture of the hyoid bone, which is the little bone that sits right here in your throat.
Yeah.
And usually when you break your neck or you're suffocated or strangled, that's
That breaks.
usually the first to break. There was also evidence of a fracture of the cricoid cartilage, evidence of petechia on the inner surface of her lips, which is the little red dots that you see.
Okay. I never
Especially-
heard about it being on lips. I always heard about it like
Being
in
the
the
eyes and stuff.
bursting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's the blood vessels, right?
Yes.
Bursting.
Yes. So this is all indicating that she died of asphyxiation.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the opinion of the medical examiner that the cause of Michelle's death was strangulation. At this point, he's charged with murder. Assistant DA Jamie Reyna told the court in her opening for the prosecution that this is a case about obsession, rage, and this defendant's calculated attempts to get away with murder. He became so upset with Michelle that he grabbed her by the neck, he started to choke her, he started to squeeze her neck. You'll hear him tell these officers he choked her for 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah. The medical examiner testified that Michelle died from strangulation. She referred to the 2 fractures in her airway and the petechia markings on the skin. Both of these are, like I was saying, are consistent with strangulation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There was also skin discoloration on the front of her neck and on the sides. But there was no skin discoloration on the back of her neck. That would be consistent with the person applying pressure to the front of her neck, like he was saying that he was doing.
Yeah.
When Mark's version of events was put to her, namely that he fell on top of Michelle, the medical examiner said that would be unlikely. That a person would die from being grabbed by the neck and thrown to the bed under someone else's weight unless it included a prolonged compression of the neck, which there was nothing on the back.
Yeah.
There's no evidence of it. So he's lying.
Yeah.
Mark's supervisor, Eric Johnson, gave evidence. He told the court that Mark threatened to kill Michelle on 2 separate occasions. Mark told Eric that he was going to kill Michelle so that his parents could care for Caden. Just a few months before she was killed, he told Eric again that Michelle had physically assaulted him and he needed a pipe because he was going to kill her.
Whoa.
That's a little drastic.
A little? You threatened somebody's life.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Even though Mark confessed and admitted that he killed her, he pled not guilty as he claimed her death was the result of an accident. What accident?
How you accidentally choked her?
Yeah.
For however long?
How do you... What?
Come on, man.
No. It was the defense case that there had been a heated fight between Mark and Michelle, and it resulted in him falling on Michelle as he defended himself, and that's how she died.
How are you gonna... Oh my gosh. That has to
Really?
be like... That has to be like the worst defense I've ever heard.
It's a pretty bad defense.
It's so lame.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's so lame.
So he tried to paint a picture of a volatile relationship, one where he was the one often beaten up by Michelle. But there were no reports of violence in their relationship prior to that night. You know, he kept saying that Michelle provoked him because she struck him, and when she attempted to strike him again, he snapped and had to fight back. That's how he was defending himself.
Okay.
Okay. So the defense called just only one witness.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was it? Tell me.
Their witness was a forensic engineer, and he testified that Michelle's injuries were consistent with Mark's versions of events. Yeah. He testified that the physical evidence was inconsistent with prolonged squeezing of the neck because he did not find any evidence of force applied on the sides of her neck. When it was put to him during cross-examination, he conceded that someone could be strangled from the front without pressure being applied to the sides of the neck. Bye, get off the stand.
Wow.
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 Then at this point, Mark was found guilty of murder.
Ding, 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 ding.
No surprise there.
They got it right. Goodness gracious.
At his sentencing phase, his lawyer argued that his case was one of sudden passion. You know, sudden passion can be raised as a mitigating factor during the punishment phase of the trial in Texas. It cannot be used as a defense to murder. But if a person is found guilty of murder, then they can argue that the murder was the result of sudden passion. So jurors had to consider whether Mark was provoked to such a level of fear, rage, or resentment that any reasonable person in a similar situation with an ordinary temper simply would not be able to keep their cool.
I can see that.
I can see it in some cases, but definitely I don't see it in this case.
I don't see her being like, I don't know, the type of person to make people just mad and just punch them in the face and just...
Yeah, I don't see her being the aggressor
That makes
here.
no sense.
Yeah. So if Mark was successful in this argument, it would mean that the maximum punishment for murder is reduced from life in prison to 20 years. And he could be sentenced to as little as 2 years.
What? I hope that's not the case.
So the jury did not find Mark's case was a case of sudden passion.
Okay.
You know, sudden passion, as it sounds, sudden, something that happens in the very moment of
The moment of...
Yes. Sorry, I got tongue-tied there. The heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something goes wrong that you simply cannot control yourself, and that just didn't happen in this case.
Yeah.
So he knew exactly what was going to happen that Saturday when he got home from work. He had already threatened to kill her and had started planning childcare arrangements for Caden. So it was no surprise that the jury found this was not a case of sudden passion. Mark could have been sentenced to life in prison. Instead, he was sentenced to 27 years. He will be eligible for parole in 2026.
Boy, that's right around the corner.
2026.
Hmm. That's not too far.
It's such a...
Surely he's gonna get denied, though. I can see him being the one that's gonna serve the whole term.
Yeah, he looks like one of the guys that he's going to end up getting into some trouble. I hope he minds his P's and Q's, but you know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my crime crazy people. I need y'all to breathe as we are at the conclusion of the Mark Castellano case. I'm going to leave y'all with a quote. Never forget that walking away from something unhealthy is brave, even if you stumble a little on your way out the door. Anonymous. Join us next week as we discuss a new case that is swirling around in our heads. If y'all have a case you would like for us to discuss, shoot us an email at velohumanity@gmail.com. Alright, my crime crazy people, we will be back next week with a brand new episode. To see all of our source material, please consult the show notes. Don't forget to click that subscribe follow button and follow us on our social media at Veil of Humanity Podcasts, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Hosted by Kimberly Taylor and
Melanie Ovington.
produced and music by Courtney Santos. Edited by Courtney Santos and Xavier Foster. A Bronx Bay production. Okay, Bronx, tell them we will see them again next week.